choose our socks for success in all endeavors. Fortunes rises from the heel, and good luck for life.
Good morning. Today is Saturday, January 11, 2025. Today in history, 182 years ago today, American psychologist William James was born. He authored Principles of Psychology and Pragmatism. The first Native American philosopher and psychologist, James was a key educator and a founding figure in American functionalist psychology. Often called the father of American psychology, he was one of the earliest experimental psychologists in the U.S. Welcome to today's Ching Chow Morning News. Let's start with political updates. Indonesia's Constitutional Court cancels presidential nomination threshold. On January 2, Indonesia's Constitutional Court ruled that the election law's provisions on the nomination threshold for president and vice president, which favored large political parties, were unconstitutional and invalid. The Indonesian parliament announced it would amend the relevant provisions, potentially leading to more candidate groups in the 2029 presidential and vice presidential elections. Under the 2017 Election Act, only political parties or alliances with over 25% of the vote or 20% of parliamentary seats could nominate presidential candidates. Rights activists and university students had challenged this clause, arguing it restricted voter rights and small parties. Political analyst Arya from the Center for Strategic and International Studies stated that the ruling would allow more small parties to field candidates, reducing their dependence on major parties. Iran to hold second round of nuclear talks with UK, France, Germany. Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Gharibabadi recently announced that the next round of nuclear talks between Iran and the United Kingdom, France, and Germany will take place in Geneva on January 13. This marks the second round of discussions since November last year regarding Iran's controversial nuclear program. The previous meeting addressed various issues, including the lifting of sanctions. In 2015, Iran reached a nuclear agreement with Western powers, including the US, but President Trump unilaterally withdrew from the deal during his first term and reimposed sanctions. In response, Iran began to scale back its commitments, including enriching uranium to 60%. Global oil prices drop for 2 consecutive years. Recent data shows that international crude oil prices are expected to fall by 3% in 2024, marking the second consecutive year of decline. Brent crude oil futures dropped 3%, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate oil prices remained largely unchanged. Analysts attribute the decline to a slow global economic recovery post-pandemic, sluggish growth in China's economy, and increased oil production in the U.S. and non-OPEC countries. In September 2024, Brent crude prices fell below $70 for the first time since December 2021, with overall prices staying below previous year peaks. Tesla's annual deliveries declined for the first time. Tesla's annual report, released on January 2, shows the company delivered 495,570 vehicles in Q4, with total annual deliveries just under 1.8 million, a 1.1% decline from 2023. This marks Tesla's first decline in annual deliveries. Analysts cite factors such as reduced subsidies in Europe, the shift to low-price hybrids in the US, and strong competition from China's BYD as pressures on Tesla. CEO Elon Musk told investors that Tesla expects 20% to 30% growth in 2024, driven by the launch of a more affordable model in the first half of the year. Russian tanker suspected of damaging Baltic Sea subsea cables. Finnish authorities recently detained a tanker carrying Russian oil on suspicion of damaging an undersea power line and 4 telecommunications cables. The tanker was directed to sail to Gulpilati port. Since Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine, the Baltic countries have been on high alert due to repeated failures of power, telecom cables, and natural gas pipelines in the region. Russia has denied involvement in any incidents affecting Baltic infrastructure. Finnish customs noted that the seized ship was part of a shadow fleet of aging tankers used to smuggle oil and evade Western sanctions on Russian oil sales. The Kremlin stated that the seizure was unrelated to Russia. South Korea conducts emergency safety check on air traffic system. South Korean acting President Choi Sang-mok recently ordered an emergency safety inspection of the country's entire aviation system. This follows the crash of Jeju Air Flight 7C-2216, which killed 179 people, leaving only 2 crew members alive. Choi emphasized the need to identify all victims, support their families, and treat the 2 survivors. He instructed the Ministry of Transport to immediately conduct a safety inspection to prevent future accidents. The 2 black boxes of the crashed aircraft have been found. The flight data recorder is partially damaged, while the cockpit voice recorder remains intact. Cambodia holds 46th anniversary of Victory Day celebration. Cambodia recently marked the 46th anniversary of the overthrow of Pol Pot's genocidal regime. The People's Party held a grand celebration on Diamond Island in Phnom Penh, attracting over 20,000 party members. Phnom Penh mayor stated that security measures were strengthened in collaboration with the military to ensure the event's smooth execution. The Khmer Rouge regime, 1975 to 1979, resulted in the deaths of about 1 million people, most from labor, famine, disease, or political execution in the killing fields. The regime was overthrown on January 7, 1979. Under the leadership of the Cambodian People's Party and Chairman Hun Sen, the country has gradually restored stability, offering its people a new life. Xinhua Finance reports that from January to November 2024, China's corn imports totaled 13.32 million tons, marking a 39.9% year-on-year decrease and a 51% drop compared to the same period in 2021. That's all for today's Qing Chao Morning News. Thanks for watching. Join us at the same time tomorrow.